street. But I can't get you to fucking go 3 blocks down the street. I can't and I'm not going to fight you and drag you because you might be able to beat me up. Probably not, but there's a chance of it. So what do? I get close to you. I get in your uncomfortable zone. I get super right up on you, almost kissing you kind of deal. You step back 2 feet. And then you're like, hey, get back. So I'm like, okay. So I back up a little bit, but you're still standing in that same spot. And then after a couple minutes, I come in and I get encroach you again. And I keep doing that until eventually we're fucking 3 blocks down the street. You didn't know what the fuck happened, but you're 3 blocks down the street where I wanted you to be at. But I didn't force you to do it though. At the same time, you were naturally backing up because we're like, okay, it's okay for this, it's okay for that. So just naturally, it just eventually gets ridiculous.
That was surprisingly well said.
Yeah. I consider it I always use the pendulum metaphor for it.
Yeah.
It just swings back and forth. The same thing, it happens mostly in comedy where you'll go a decade of the major comics or Goody Two Shoes, don't cuss a lot, like Jerry Seinfeld, even though he did sleep with a woman under 18. And then you'll go but before that, there's Richard Pryor who would say whatever the fuck he wanted. It just goes back and forth like that. I think it's the same thing with cancel culture. It's just sometimes it goes too far.
Do you know that Richard Pryor gave a woman cervical sex by having your cervical cancer?
I've never heard of that.
The only thing close to that was it who was the actor that got fucking throat cancer from eating box too much? That's the closest thing I could think to that.
No. Apparently, Richard Pryor used to put a line of coke on his before sex, and he did it so much with this girl that it gave her cervical cancer.
That's I wouldn't want to admit that.
I swear it might be urban legend, but I have heard discussed on multiple podcasts has facts.
Well, I've also heard of
shout out Twisted
podcasts.
History. You guys ever listen to Twisted History?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's Large at Barstool, and that is one smart motherfucker, and he has covered that story a couple times. And yeah, that's just I didn't even know that was a thing, any of it.
What is the benefit of
it? Apparently, it's old school. It's like old school Roman wipes.
Is what it sounds like.
Okay, the Roman wipes kind of makes sense. Yeah. I don't have any
that was
experience with
apparently
cocaine,
that's
so
the theory behind it.
This could be one of those things though, like fucking Marilyn Manson sucking his own dick back in the day.
I said that there's a possibility, but the source I got it from, I tend to believe it's true.
Yeah, I also get a lot of sources from people too. They turn out to be not true,
Yeah, I understand that. But anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the Hive Adventures. I am Garrett from Iowa, along with the real big journal, also known as Colin, and the Covert Shadow Cuck himself has joined us this week. Dooley is currently suspended for being anti-Canadian, I believe.
Dooley is actually I've got my sources on this. That's why I said my sources could be wrong on this. Because there's certain things, I'm hearing it from different angles why Dooley got suspended, But I also heard that I heard that there's 2 options, that Dooley could be fleeing the Canadian government because they're thinking about putting him in an internment camp because he's not nice enough to be a Canadian. And he's been super rude. So they need to reprogram him and make him super nice again. So I've heard that he's on the run from that. And I've also heard that he's in Toronto right now working with Timmy to try and make sure that Justin Trudeau becomes dictator of Canada and can never leave his power.
Wow, that's crazy. I just figured that he got. I mean, we'll have to check in with the commissioner. I just appointed the commissioner. It's Mark. So if you have any questions, DM Hard Factor Mark. He's the commissioner and in charge of Dooley's suspension.
Head of football operations too.
He's football. I thought Will was football operations.
Will can be football operations. Wes is Costco operations.
Yes, definitely.
Obviously, yeah.
Pat is communist operations.
what do we call? I'm blanking on the word. It will come back to me.
He's also the religious minister for us too. So
Okay, El Dictator is what we call Pat because he's the head of communist operations.
yeah.
So that makes sense. But anyway, so direct all questions regarding Dooley to Mark, but I was under the impression that he was being way too mean to the A Canadians, like Colin, and that's why he got suspended.
The Acadians, he's very appropriating our culture, so we're just trying to,
Yeah, it's absolutely. He refuses to just for a little bit of background here. He absolutely refuses to accept the fact that Colin is a Canadian just because he lives in California.
Acadian is how you pronounce it. Acadian. Also, Coach O is the descendant of Acadians because Acadians eventually went down to Louisiana and started the Cajun group. So you can thank the Acadians for Coach O. So you're welcome.
And you could thank him for me, my grandfather, born and raised in Montreal. So,
Nice.
Montreal isn't Acadian though.
Yeah, I guess
Acadians are more
I would.
New Brunswick. They're New Brunswick. They're Nova Scotia. They're Newfoundland.
So not California?
California.
Strong
Montreal.
A Canadian presence in California.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So we're gonna get some stripper stories here to wrap the show up from our lovely guests. Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it. We love having people from the Hardo Hive on, reminiscent of the old green room days, as always. But first and foremost, Colin wanted to get into something about The Farmer's Daughter by Rodney Atkins would not fly today.
Oh, dude, it kind of worked out perfect that we were kind of talking about the PC and the cut and like cancel culture beforehand, before we started recording and everything. Because truthfully, that song would not fly today because the song would not roll off the tongue because you have to say the farmer's non-binary child instead of farmer's daughter because you can't offend anyone. And you just can't it just wouldn't roll off the tongue, like I fell in love with the farmer's daughter. See, that sounds perfect, but I fell in love with the farmer's non-binary child. It doesn't go off the tongue, so it wouldn't be able to go today. Like, it'd be hard for me to keep track of the song, like I'd be howling, hey, we be talking, like it'd be weird. Like, I don't know.
I think you are severely overestimating the number of fucks Rodney Atkins gives.
Yeah.
I think you're severely overestimating the fucks most people would give.
I don't know, dude. There's just 3%. There's 1% of Twitter that would be talking so much crap about the song, and they would end up ruining it, and they'd end up getting everyone canceled because it's less than 1% of bots,
You do understand that Twitter is like 3% of the U.S. population.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like 1% of Twitter controls all
like the
Twitter.
entire 3% of the American population is on Twitter.
And which makes it even crazier that has this much toll on what everyone thinks. Or what we're allowed to hear,
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like the issue with social media is always fucking echo chambers. So it's like
100%.
Yeah, I follow anyone and everyone, like, just to try to keep away from that shit. But like, yeah, it's like you'll have people on one side getting together, screaming at each other, agreeing with each other, getting each other all riled up, which is the 1% you're talking about. And you'll have the 1% on the other side that counteracts to that, just getting all each other riled up, screaming at each other. And it's just the stupidest shit. Like,
and then you got me in the middle asking politicians to show us their tits and
yeah,
in the comment
I wouldn't even
section.
say that's the middle. That's just like, here's the political spectrum. You're just like all the way off screen, just hanging out, asking for tit pics.
I'm trying to get. So I messaged JOC. She still has yet to get back with me about coming on the show, but hopefully there's a chance. I also messaged Marjorie Taylor Greene on Getter.
I'm not sure which one of those guests I would enjoy more.
Hey,
I bet money they'd be off the show before the end. But either one. but
either one. But speaking of the story, I'm kind of going into, and that's kind of what brought me with the Rodney Carrington's daughter, the farmer's daughter, in that thing. Kind of reminds me of the story I wanted to talk about.
okay.
So I was reading. I'm just randomly going through Reddit. Then boom, story pops up. Girl with 2 vaginas. This girl had this girl had 2 vaginas.
You mistyped this in the chat. You said the 2 Virginia story, and I thought you were going to tell a story about how West Virginia left Virginia.
Oh no, I'm talking about Paul. Fucking spelling's for nerds, Garrett. Fuck that shit. That's why I believe in the bullying, bringing back bullying. But like, she had 2 vaginas, so she gave birth out of the right vagina. So technically, the left vagina hasn't had a baby out of it. So I'm wondering, like, if she got pregnant again, would that count as like a first kid too? And do you think that the farmer's daughter possibly had 2 vaginas? Follow-up question. Maybe that's why he was so into her, you know?
Okay, I'm just trying to rack my brain on this one.
Okay, a little bit of help, because I did read the story for our buddy, Mr. Cuck. I've been trying to struggle with like what to call you, because I'm not going to say Covert Shadow
Senor
Cuck every time.
Senor Cuck. Call me Shadow or Cuck, whatever you want.
But this lady, she very, very rare condition. They didn't even like put a percentage on
1 in 3,000 women have it.
No,
I feel like that's a bullshit number. There's no way.
There's no way.
I read the fucking article, dude, and I did more research on it too.
1 in 3,000.
So based off of that, if we believe
most women don't know that they have it too.
Sleeping with 10,000 women.
How the hell do you not know?
Because most of the time, some of the times in this condition, one of the vaginas is too small for a dick to go in there. So it's tiny, and you can't get something in there. So most women that have it don't find out till later on in life, whenever they're getting like.
All right, you guys carry on. I'll be right back.
So I just want to point this out. If we believe the Wilt Chamberlain story of him sleeping with 10,000 women, that means that he's slept with 3 women, statistically, with this issue.
Probably.
That's insane. There's no way that statistic is correct.
They said it could be as little as, but like it's more common in like third world countries.
Yeah, like all that stuff is. They just like they don't understand, unfortunately, how to take care of a baby in the uterus. But it's just like, yeah.
Independent fact check from my wife. There's no way it's 1 in 3,000.
Check it. Check the fucking facts. I got the documents right here.
On all female information right there. That's how you do it.
That I checked it on the line. It's in that article that I posted. And you can also get on this girl. Also, we should post the link of the story so like we can give the girl some props because she's out of Australia. That way she can make some money too, because she's making like she's also an adult entertainer too. So that they found out that did it.
I gotta find out how that works. Or they just that completely changes the game of a DP.
So what she was talking about, that's true. But what she was talking about was her right vagina was held off for her husband. And when she was working, she would use her left vagina. That girl.
Just trying to imagine this is breaking my brain. I'm sorry.
That's what the story said.
According to Insider, it is 1 in 3,000, and I still don't believe you. Garrett.
I
still don't believe you.
But that's what Insider said.
That's gotta be like what is it, like 1 in 2,000 people have a tail, but they just like don't know because it doesn't show. Like that's gotta be the similar thing. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Before, they just can't see it.
Exactly.
Because I've met more than 3,000 women. I'm pretty sure I would have heard about it.
Okay. I'm going to read a quote for you here real quick. This is straight out of insider.com, and I will put the link in the comments show notes. Evelyn, that's the girl's name, and her partner only used her right vagina while trying to conceive. Getting pregnant in both sides is risky. Plus, her right side is more pleasurable. During her sex work days, she saved it for her personal life while using the left for work.
That's exactly what I told you.
That is wild.
I have a memory for these stories like this, Garrett.
I need to know if it's two separate uteruses.
It is two separate
two
uteruses
separate-
and two separate birthing canals too.
I'll
And
I'll
two
put the
separate
link
sets
in
of
the.
ovaries.
That's
Are you on your phone, Cuck?
no, I'm on my laptop, but I can. Pull
Okay.
up my phone.
On the side there's a deal that says private chat.
Yeah.
I just put the link in there.
So, guys, so that we don't have any silence, but so
yeah, no, this is crazy.
I told you, dude. That's why I wanted this story on here, because I wanted to talk about the farmer's daughter having two vaginas. It could be talking about the farmer's daughter. Bring it back in this. This is where we all intertwine in together and we loop it back. The farmer's daughter had two vaginas. That's why he was so obsessed with her and he wanted to smash her so bad. Because that farmer's daughter had that double you know? You know what I'm saying? Like he would go out there and he was like, she'd bring him some tea, and then like, so she still had her cherry in one of them. He was just smashing one of the vaginas and then left her virginity for when they got married on the other one.
What I need to know is what state this farmer's daughter was in, because she could use the right one for family and the left one for the farmer there. I mean,
yeah, she used him for that one. Right.
Yeah.
They ended up getting married though in the song later on. You hear they get married. Now they use the left one to have a little fun out by the hay and like hang out and stuff. So like I'm thinking Midwest. So she used the left one, but then like whenever it came down to her virtues and her having a family, they used the right one because it was just like that's when they got married. So when you get married and you have two vaginas, you use the right vagina when you get married.
Jeez. Like,
you have thought
I feel like
way
you
too
could-
much. You're like way out over. I'm still just like reading this article and going, holy shit! Like the kid was carried to term and was 5 pounds 3 ounces because there was not enough room for him to properly grow because she had two uteruses.
Yeah, my dick would have easily not formed, and I would have even had even smaller of a dick now than now. Like I would have gone from gorilla dick to bald eagle dick real quick.
Yeah, and then you get COVID and you got no dick. I mean, that's just what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Well, we learned on this episode, if you listen to the previous episode, that we had our buddy 3 Mile Carlos on. Shout out 3 Mile Carlos. I love you, Bubba. But we discussed animal dicks, and we found out the bald eagle does not have a penis.
What?
The bald eagle does not have a penis. But the Canadian goose has a penis.
You guys know this shit about duck dicks?
Yeah, you're talking about the Argentine wood duck.
Like they have like a fucking corkscrew dick.
20-inch. The Argentine woodland duck has a 20-centimeter penis, and
that does not seem like it's proportionate to the body of the duck.
20 centimeters.
I'm also a dumb American, so centimeters just go right over my head.
16,
I only know it because I read the
14,
article that said 20
16.
centimeters, so it's stuck in my head. I don't know what that is proportion with it either.
That'd be like a little less than an inch.
Okay. Then I'm just a dumb American that don't understand centimeters.
I had to do it.
27? No.
20 centimeters.
There's no way 20 centimeters is only.
Yeah.
Because 100 centimeters equals 1 foot.
No.
Yeah.
100 centimeters equals 1 meter.
Equals 1 meter.
No, isn't there one in between them?
Millimeters is smaller.
Millimeters is under centimeters.
No, yeah, you're right. 100 centimeters is a meter, but a 10 millimeter wrench is roughly the same size as a 7/16. So two of them would be 14/16 or 7/8.
20 centimeters is 7.8 inches.
You sure it's not
So
0.78?
10 millimeter wrench. Wrench size is different.
Hearing.
No.
So it's for every inch.
30 centimeters is an inch and 3/16.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, every
millimeters
inch
is way smaller. It takes 100 millimeters to equal 1 centimeter. So it adds up.
Okay, are we talking centimeters or millimeters here? I feel like we're getting.
Because he's talking about a 10 millimeter wrench. I'm talking about a 20 centimeter wrench on that duck.
Yeah,
like a wrench. Like,
like
a dong.
The difference between a centimeter and an inch is every 2.5
Oh, I'm thinking
4 centimeters
millimeters.
is one.
Okay, yeah, I was on
Yeah,
millimeters.
yeah.
Okay, that's right. All right, never mind. That makes more sense.
Yeah, so
Holy
that
cow,
duck's
you were
dick
breaking
is
my head
so.
there for a
This
So
duck's
Woodland
dick
Duck
is
has a
so
huger dong
crazy.
than me.
Yeah, same.
yeah.
It's a bigger dong than fucking 70% of the world,
I would
if
get.
not more.
Yeah, I mean, what's the current average? Like 5.5 or 6?
I tell myself it's that, but I don't know.
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
I've had COVID dick my whole life.
You had COVID before it was cool.
But yeah. So so the farmer's daughter, back to the farmer's daughter's cooter.
Yeah, 5.1 to 5.5. But after taking volunteer bias into account, it's probably towards the lower end of this range.
Oh yeah, I would say lower than the range. You can't trust polls.
Yeah. I've seen strippers dance on them and you can't trust them.
Oh man.
But
yeah.
So you think she
Wow,
did say so she saved the right, so we're convinced the farmer's daughter saved the right vagina for a wedding, right?
I guess we're rolling with that.
Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that one.
I think we're all in agreement on this one.
You've made a head explode like 3 times today. So
Dude, I give you the information. See, I'm gonna go on a rant right now, Garrett. I give you the information on Sunday, or I've given you that information since probably Friday about that article and about the girl having the 2 cougars.
I missed the part about 1 in 3,000. Okay.
I, like the big JIM, study things about study these stories that everyone wants to hear, because our fans want to hear stories like this. This is stuff that Hard Factor can't talk about, because we get the crumbs. Next week we're gonna go into the guy with 2 dicks. There's a story of a guy that legitimately has 2 dicks, and we're going to drop down into that one.
Okay, link it to me, and I will read the whole story and take notes this time.
Okay, because that guy actually has 2 dicks. Ooh, the guy with 2 dicks that legally has 2 dicks gets together with the girl with 2 vaginas, double penetration for life. Boom, skeets in both of them. 2 baby twins come out.
She's definitely dead if that happens. There's no way she's getting split in half. Dude.
C-section.
Can you
C-section.
imagine?
There's C-sections.
Can you imagine if Brazzers, however you say it, what would they pay for one video of those?
I feel like that's not going to be a Brazzers. We got to go something a little more.
It's going to be on Penthouse. Penthouse, you could literally pee on the carpet. It was okay.
Man,
that's got to be an OnlyFans link shared around 4chan. That's the.
And you got to pay $20 to watch it.
You don't think somebody mainstream would just pay a ridiculous amount of money to be the only ones that had the video?
Yeah, but if they did OnlyFans, they'd make more money.
I don't think that they would be able to do the marketing on that and see enough. I should say market research on that and see enough potential revenue. Because I would imagine what
being the market researcher for Brazzers is like?
Dude, I guarantee
probably
the guy,
a hilarious job.
The guy probably is very raw.
Yeah, you can't take your job seriously. I mean, can you?
I don't take my job serious, so it makes sense.
So imagine they're doing in their market research, they're doing those focus groups. Is it just 20 dudes that look like us? Is that just the whole
literally dudes it literally is. It's just dudes that look like us that just sit around and talk about porn all day. Pretty much what this podcast is, just without recording it.
They actually just go into a high school football locker room. Just be like, hey, is anyone here 18? All right, yeah. Here's our focus group.
Mark all of a sudden's working for Brazzers at the same time while doing the show.
Dude.
Hey, honey, it's research.
That's crazy. All right, so we aren't here we aren't here all night. We do have a guest tonight, and I teased it earlier. Mr. Cuck has a stripper story for us.
Yeah, I actually got 2. I'll run. They're pretty quick stories, but I'm not an avid strip club guy, but I've been around the block a few times. And so my first strip club experience, I was 18, actually 19, summer after my freshman year of college. I had just joined a fraternity that I was only a part of for less than a semester. And I guess you'd call him my big, like that bullshit fraternity sorority stuff, like my big brother, takes me to a strip club in Birmingham, Alabama.
That's
Granted,
a real classy one, I bet.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Like I lived there after, like when I was not in college, and I live there now. Top 5 strip club city in America, 100%.
No shit.
And he gets me to drive to fucking Birmingham, Alabama, because that's where he's from. And we go to the one strip club there. And he doesn't want me just to like go in, have a normal experience. He comes in with a game plan for us to have alternate personalities and backgrounds. So my name is Malachi Goldstein, which I'm not even Jewish.
I would totally go with that name. I would probably.
I stuck with that as my spring break name for the rest of my life. But so I'm Malachi Goldstein, a fresh out of law school lawyer that only does professional athletes contracts. And he's saying that he's the outfielder for the Montgomery Biscuits, like the AA team for I don't even know what fucking MLB team.
And it's just like so it's just a shitty minor league team that no one's gonna look into.
Oh,
that's
no.
genius.
Yeah, no one's gonna look into it. No, so I'm his contract lawyer. So we go into the strip club and we act like we've just been like best friends our whole lives, and I that's why I have his contract. And we're talking to these strippers. A few hours go by. I'm sneaking drinks even though I'm 19. He's getting hammered. And finally, this crazy hot, out of nowhere, there's no hot strippers in Birmingham, Alabama. This crazy hot stripper comes out, and she just focuses on us because we're in like fucking suit and tie, like trying to look better than the average dude in Crocs and sweatpants with some stains around the crotches. And she.
Quick side note: who the hell wears sweatpants to a strip club?
I think that's actually a lot of dudes wear sweatpants to a strip club. I feel like that's like the attire. That or dudes in gold chains.
I think the sweatpants move is if you're like a regular, if you're going to the strip club on Tuesday nights.
Well, it's wing.
That's a sweatpants guy. Yeah. And
he's there for the wings.
Yeah. So she kind of comes out and she only focuses on us because one, we're the only ones that are throwing money because neither one of us have responsibilities. And 2, we're in suit and tie, so she thinks we have way more money than we actually do. We give her our backgrounds, and like she's on her second song, and she just whispers in my ear and says, I need a lawyer. After I've already told her that I am fresh out of law school, which is a fucking lie. And I was like, oh yeah, what kind of law do you like? I really only do like professional athletes contracts and real estate law. What kind of law do you need? You closing on a house? And she goes, no, I need a criminal defense attorney. And I just go, what, if you don't mind me asking, what'd you do? Because I got to know if I'm going to be able to handle this. She's like, yeah, well, my ex-boyfriend, I caught him with one of the other strippers that no longer works here in our bed, and I stabbed him. Just right there.
That sounds like a stripper.
She straight face said that. Like she was not lying. Or she's the greatest actor of all time, which she could be because she's a stripper and she has to tell people that she loves them.
No, strippers were nice whenever they told me I was handsome. They were telling the truth.
Yeah, so I just react with, oh man, I wish I could. I just don't have enough experience in criminal law to be able to handle that. That'd be like someone asking I'm trying to think of criminal defense attorney. I had one in the back of my head, but like asking them to do bird law, bringing in a Always Sunny reference to see if she could just catch I was lying. And she that's it. That's the end of my interaction with her. Her song's done. She goes to the back. I lean over to my friend and I tell him exactly what she said. He just goes, "Do you think we could get like a blow bang from her in the like behind the building if you agree to do it?" I was just like, I don't want to get to that point. I already know she stabbed a man. I don't want to get to the point where I'm wondering, was my dick getting cut off behind a strip club in Birmingham, Alabama?
I would say that attempting to hustle the stripper that just told you she stabbed a guy is probably a bad life choice.
Oh, yeah. Well, this guy has made no good life choices. I'm not going to say who he is. If he ever hears this, I doubt he will. He might know who I'm talking about, but fuck no. Terrible life choices.
Has he ever had sex with a girl in the back of a bar?
He might have. He used to, before he lost all of his hair, he used to bang chicks all the time. Yeah. But, yeah. And then going into my second one, because I grew up, I mentioned before, I played college lacrosse, so obviously I grew up wealthy. Wealthy kid from the suburbs. I got an internship in DC going into my senior year of college because I couldn't finish school. And I'm just having like a grand old time with all the other interns that are flat broke. We just go to bars and get hammered all the time. And my uncle calls me up. He's in the Army. He's in town for like 4 days for training. And I did not know until he called me up and we went to dinner that he is an avid strip club guy. He's from Boise. He goes to the one strip club in Boise, Idaho, 3 times a week. And he takes me to dinner. I'm like, all right, sick. I got a free dinner out of this. I'll get a few free beers out of this. I look at my watch, 9:30. I'm like, all right, I think I got to head home. I got to be at my internship tomorrow at 8 a.m. And he was like, oh, there's 2 bars down the street if you want to go to them. I was like, okay, I'll get a few extra beers. Said, sure. We walk into this room, this building. All of the windows completely blacked out. I should have known the second I saw that. I walk in. They asked me for $60 to get in. I'm like, that's never seen a cover charge that high in a bar in DC. So I'm starting to get kind of confused. And then there's 2 ATMs right inside. And I just look at my uncle and I'm like, are we in a fucking strip club? He goes, yeah. No, did you think we're going to an actual bar? No, we're just getting drinks here. I was like, come on, dude. I don't want to go to a strip club with my fucking uncle. That's just a weird thing. Anyway,
what if it's like your uncle, like the one with the really big with the big hands that doesn't have small hands though?
No, it's not. It's not my uncle from Always Sunny. If you're talking about uncle, what's the fucking dude's name? The lawyer.
I don't know.
Shit. Oh god, yeah, but that's a great fucking side character in any TV show. But yeah, no. So that's it turns into like a normal strip club scenario. But he's like being a cheap dude from Idaho in a high class strip club in fucking Washington D.C. So like whenever a girl's like, "Oh, buy me a drink," he's like, "As long as it's not $200, you fat whore." And he just like it was just normal strip club scenario with that. And then what really fucking got me was they're down the hallway to the bathroom. There are entrances to separate hallways for private rooms. And I'm like, okay, I'm in DC. So they have more private rooms than the average strip club because there are people here that actually matters if they get caught in strip clubs. And I see one of the bouncers open one of the doors to let someone in. And down the hall, I'm not going to say the congressman's name because I
say his name. You have to. You have to.
I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get fucking sued. But let's just say I saw a very prominent congressman from Ohio that may or may not have some issues with their past coaching job in college, if you know what I mean. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Hey, what if Garrett said the name?
I have no clue who you are talking about, and I will not repeat this story ever. If the NSA is watching, I haven't heard a thing. My headphones went out.
Yeah, no. It's actually just to keep liability things going. This story is all made up. But I see him down the hall getting pulled in with a dude and a chick, and like he catches my eye, and then I just see the bouncer like look at him and look at me, and I just act like I am so blackout drunk out of nowhere that I can barely stand, even though I've only had like 5 beers. And I'm a heavy subject. 5 beers can be blackout drunk. So luckily the bouncer just assumed that I was fucking gone. And I didn't even know what I saw. And then I just go to the bathroom because I had 5 beers, I had to break the seal, go back to my uncle after that, and I immediately was just like, I gotta fucking go, dude. We cannot be here anymore. And that was the end of my night. And then he also took me to another strip club in Boise, Idaho, like a year later, and I totally sure saw that one coming too. But yeah, no, like I remember that, and I was just like wide-eyed. Then the second the bouncer saw me, quick reaction, I was like, oh fuck. So you
I
guys
don't know
where
why
the
I was
bathroom
really
is?
hoping it was Bernie.
No,
I was
dude,
really
it couldn't
hoping it was going
Bernie.
to be Bernie Sanders, and he's like, hey, no, if you give
Yeah,
me a
no.
lap dance, then I will give you a lap dance. And we, we're all equal together, okay? We're all strong unity. So we need to give each other lap dances in exchange for the lap dance.
It couldn't be it. Like I the reason why my name on this is Covert Shadow Cuck is I'm actually a big fucking lib. I get called a lib cuck all the time, but I also don't fall into the PC shit that a lot of people on the left do. And I fucking
There's a
love Bernie
difference
Sanders.
between liberal and PC and woke.
Oh yeah.
There's a difference
Yeah.
between liberal and woke.
Hardcore.
Like,
Yeah.
look at Bill Maher. Bill Maher is prime example of liberal. Bill Maher likes to think, leans left on politics, on his political things. But then he'll tell the PC culture and he'll tell the woke crowd, go shut the fuck up. Like, you don't represent me. And like, he tells them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know?
I have heard by a non-left guy describe Bill Maher's current campaign as a campaign to save the Democratic Party. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that the way I don't want to get too political in this. I just think the way to fucking fix the Democratic Party is talk about actual issues.
What?
Like
what? You mean you mean Trump being a bad guy isn't a political stance to run on? Just Trump being an asshole isn't like the whole entire thing to run your campaign on?
If they just talked about like the actual things he failed on politically, it would have fucking worked. But like they just had to go, oh, he's a bad guy. And it's just like the same shit. Like if we just had one, I'm not a registered Democrat, but I'm young. I'm only 25, so I've really only voted Democrat so far. And if they just like had someone run against Biden from the left, and they realize that most people don't really give a shit about political correctness, and also most of the time that like the way people think like that when it comes to social issues, most of the anger on both sides goes away when people feel more comfortable with the economy. That's like that's one of the truest things I've ever heard. People are happy with the way they work, how much money they make, how much money they can save. They don't care about anything else. Mm-hmm. That's like, it's just, if we just had someone run in the Democratic Party with that, it would work. But
I'm going to be honest with you.
They all listen to each other.
Whenever it comes to politics, this is who I voted for in my life for president. I voted for Obama my first ever time voting. Then I voted for Gary Johnson, and then I voted for Trump. Now, I would have voted for Bernie, though.
Yeah. See, that's the fucking thing. Is like there are people that voted for Trump. I shouldn't say Trump supporters, because not everyone that voted for Trump is an actual supporter, that would have voted for Bernie Sanders because like the dude is just real. Like,
that's what I liked about him.
He's been saying the same shit since fucking 1820. Like, he's an old fuck, but he's been saying the exact same shit forever. And I just wish that they didn't fuck him out of the last two elections. But
I also loved Martin O'Malley though before. So in that first term,
was that the governor of Maryland?
Yes.
Am I getting that right?
So yeah. Martin O'Malley, if Martin O'Malley ran as a Democrat again, I would vote for Martin O'Malley in a heartbeat because he was pro-worker. He's pro, but he's like everything. Like he's one of the old school Democrats that like I like. Like he's like the Kennedy style Democrat where he's where he actually like he's for the working class and he's for like the middle class. He's actually like everything he's ever done in his career, in his political career, has benefited the middle class, and like that's what he gears towards. And I would have voted for Martin O'Malley, and I had an O'Malley sticker on my truck until someone stole it off of there. But I still have I also still rock my O'Malley Rebuild the American Dream 2016 shirt. Yeah. But it's a little small for me now.
I'm right now I'm kind of banking on, like I mentioned before, I'm from Georgia. I'm kind of banking on Ossoff running right now. Real fucking young, only one term in. But like I think him pushing this bill to not allow congressmen and women and their spouses from trading, he can just point to that and be like, see, I give a shit about you. Like I don't fall into like everything else. Like I'm just like, I want what comes through Congress to be about the bottom line for you as the voters and not Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell's fucking
I would have a hard time between like a guy like that and DeSantis from Florida. Because DeSantis from Florida, I really liked how he handled COVID. He seems like an upstanding guy. He seems like a good person, and I could actually he's fluent on what he believes. He believes in America first. You know, had this been the '90s, he would be a Democrat.
I don't know if I'd go that far. But...
So like I'm big on combating the idea that Democrats have gone like significantly left. Because if you look at political candidates since before FDR, the Democratic Party has stayed on pretty close to the same topics and thinking the exact same way. There is just right after the Reagan era, Bill Clinton came in after Reagan and George H.W. Bush and like kind of pushed the Democratic Party to the right a little bit. And like, but I can kind of see it. I would discount DeSantis for the same reason like someone would discount Christie, where they just bring up the story of him closing down that bridge or going to the beach that he closed the same day he closed it. Because, I mean, the dude got caught lying a little bit about COVID numbers, which I'm not going to just single him out. Everyone fucking did it. And then swatted the whistleblower's house. So, I mean, I would, if I was running against him, I would just pull that fucking card, just like I would pull the Chris Christie closing the bridge down card.
I can understand.
All right, Colin. We're going off the deep end here. I'm going to reel it back in. And we're also at the 40-minute mark, which is about where we try to keep these. So, Mr. Cuck, do you have anywhere people can find you on the socials? Are you active on anything?
I need to create social media accounts that aren't connected to my actual person, like actual name, before I go ahead and do that.
I still have some more questions, though, Garrett.
I do work in cybersecurity, and I need to keep my job. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Garrett.
Are they political questions, Colin?
These aren't political questions.
Okay, go with fire away.
Okay, so last week we talked about it. Actually, it's kind of political. Which political figure in America would you smash right now? Like, who are you? Like, it can't be AOC.
Politician or someone that is in the realm of politics?
Politician. You can't go with AOC because that's an easy one for you because the way you lean. You gotta go somewhere else. Like, are you gonna do a three-way with Marjorie Taylor Greene and what's her name?
I listened to your guys' episode from last week to today, and I would not. If you're talking about Lauren Boebert, and you know, I wouldn't do that because I'm 25 and I'm not into older women. So like,
oh god, dude, you're missing out.
Because to me, Marjorie Taylor Greene puts off like 2 kids in middle school CrossFit mom vibes, which before I was super fat did CrossFit, and I fucking hated those moms. And then,
I have a theory on Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's either one of 2 ways. She'll either peg you, and she'll be super kinky in bed, or she just lays on her back.
Either way, I'm out.
She's either like super, super kinky, or she's just laying on her back the whole time. One or the other.
Like Colin talks. Like sometimes I seriously question my life choices.
Yeah, no, I mean I would have to dive into like some kind of local politics to try to find that.
There's one in Dallas. I'll send you the link, bro. There's this girl in Dallas that's a local assembly. She's a Texas Assemblywoman out of Dallas area. Super fucking hot. I found her on Getter. Super hot.
I mean, I listened to your guys' episode about Getter too. Yeah, I listened to your guys' episode about Getter, and I just
come join.
It seems weak to me, dude.
Come join, bro.
Every platform
you would not enjoy it.
Every platform that says, "Oh, we're for freedom of speech," also cancels and like takes your accounts out. So I just like, I'm just not.
They got rid of a Fed. That's who they got rid of. They got rid of Baked Alaska, who's a Fed.
I have hopes for Getter just because I would really like to see some competition for Twitter, but right now it's a
squawking box.
A Trump echo chamber is what it is.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Which that's what every competitor of Twitter is going to be, because it's only going to be those people that try to create a second social media But I could do a 45-minute episode on strictly social media, so I don't want to dive into that too much.
You want to help me with my social media a little bit? You know, maybe get me off of Shadow Band on TikTok. You know,
I don't know shit about
cybersecurity?
TikTok. I have done everything I can to stay away from TikTok because I don't want to be a 25-year-old dude that has a 16-year-old chick pop up in his fucking timeline. There's just not all that happened to me. Yeah.
I just have cougars pop up on mine. I just have like older women, dudes drinking beer, and weird animal things.
The best thing about TikTok is the dark humor jokes.
Yeah. Also, I as this person that works in cybersecurity, I wouldn't join TikTok because most social media companies sell your data, but TikTok is owned by a Chinese corporation that's selling your data to the Communist Party of China. So,
They're owned by an American company now. Trump made that happen.
Right.
Trump made it actually
So
happen.
the American company is selling your data to the Chinese company that's selling
Yeah.
it to the Communist Party. Like,
well, at least
yeah.
part of the
they
money
just
comes
added
to
another
America.
step in. They
I'd
didn't
rather
actually
fucking-
fix anything.
I'd rather
It was
sell
it's
my
the
data to
fucking
Amazon.
government, Colin. You think they actually fixed anything? The government hasn't fixed anything since World War II.
I don't know, dude. You should see my roads. They got fixed around World War II, and they're real nice.
Hey, I will
Thank
say after that fucking the infrastructure package that got passed, some of the roads near my house have actually been fixed. So I'm surprised.
We'll
I hope
see.
for fucking anything.
All right, Colin. Where can the people find you, bud?
Everyone can find me on all social media platforms like Twitter, Gear, and Instagram, TikTok at Real Big Jern, and on Facebook, Colin Gale Phillips. I'll add you. I'll even add you to my Alex Jones meme group if you want to. It's a lot of fun. Alex Jones is daddy, by the way, just to let you know.
No. Colin,
Alex Jones is daddy.
maybe, but nobody else's.
I want to make, dude, when we start making merch, I'm making a shirt that says Alex Jones is daddy. That says call Alex Jones daddy.
You have fun with that. I'm Garrett from Iowa. You can find me on the TikTok, the Twitter, and the Getter. And yeah, that's the show, boys. Thank you everybody for watching. We love you all, and we will see you next week.
Love you.